Hey guys. All right. I've just been working and packing and I'm sweaty. But we are going to read chapter 1 today. It's the eye of influence. A person of influence has integrity with people. And this is part of the model. It's part of the model step of the model, motivate, mentor, multiply. Okay. A few years ago, while my wife Nancy and I were on a business trip to Europe, we celebrated her birthday in London. As her gift, I decided to take her to the Escada boutique to buy her an outfit or two. She tried on a number of things and liked all of them. And while she was in the dressing room trying to decide which one to pick, I told the salesperson to wrap up the lot of it. Nancy tried to protest. She was embarrassed to buy so many things at one time, but I insisted. We both knew she'd get good use out of these clothes. Besides, she looked fabulous in everything. A couple of days later, we took the long flight out of Heathrow Airport in London to San Francisco International Airport. After we landed, we got in line for the inevitable customs check. When they asked what we had to declare, we told them about the clothes Nancy had bought and the amount we had spent. What? The agent said. You're declaring clothes? He read the figure that we'd written and said, You've got to be kidding. It's true that we had spent a little bit of money on them, but we didn't think it was that big a deal. What are the clothes made of? He asked. That seemed like an odd question. A bunch of different things, answered Nancy. Wool, cotton, silk. Everything's different. There are dresses, coats, blouses, shoes, belts, accessories. Why? Each kind of fabric has a different duty, he said. I'll have to get my supervisor. I don't even know what all the different rates are. Nobody declares clothes. He looked frustrated. Go ahead and pull everything out and sort it according to what it's made of. As we opened up our bags, he walked away and we could hear him saying to a coworker, Bobby, you'll never believe this. It must have taken us a good 45 minutes to sort everything out and tally up how much we'd spent on each type of item. The duty turned out to be quite a bit, about $2,000. As we were putting everything back into our suitcase, the agent said, You know what? I think I know you. Aren't you Jim Dornan? Yes, I answered. I'm sorry. Have we met before? I didn't recognize him. No, he said, but I've got a friend who's in your organization, Network 21, right? That's right, I said. I've seen your picture before, the agent said. My friend has been telling me that I'd really benefit from hooking up with your organization, but I haven't really listened. Now I'm thinking I should reconsider. He might be right after all. See, most people I see every day try to get all kinds of things through customs without paying duty, even stuff they should know better about. But you guys, you're declaring stuff you could have gotten through with no problem. That's sure a lot of money you could have saved. That may be true, answered Nancy, but I can spare the money for customs a lot more than I can spare not having a clear conscience. As we stood in line that day, it didn't even occur to Nancy or me that anyone there might know us. If our intention had been to cheat our way through, we never would have suspected that we'd be recognized. We thought we were anonymous. And I think that is what a lot of people think as they cut corners in life. Who will ever know? They say to themselves. But the truth is that other people know. Your spouse, children, friends, and business associates all know. And more importantly, even if you cover your tracks really well and they don't know what you're up to, you do. And you don't want to give away or sell your integrity for any price. Jim's experience with the customs agent is just one small example of how people today think when it comes to integrity. Sad to say, it no longer appears to be the norm, and when confronted by an example of honest character in action, many people seem shocked. Common decency is no longer common. Genuine integrity is not for sale. You can see character issues coming up in every aspect of life. A few years ago, for example, financier Ivan Boesky openly described greed as a good thing while speaking at UCLA's business school. That flawed thinking soon got him into trouble. When his unethical practices on Wall Street came to light, he was fined $100 million and sent to prison for 3 years. Recently, he was reported to be ruined financially and living on alimony from his former wife. Here's a quote. The need for integrity today is perhaps as great as it has ever been, and it is absolutely essential for anyone who desires to become a person of influence. Government hasn't been immune to integrity issues either. The Department of Justice is prosecuting public officials as never before, and it recently boasted that it had convicted more than 1,100 in 1 year, a dubious record. Just about everywhere you look, you see examples of moral breakdowns. TV preachers fall morally, mothers drown their children, professional athletes are found with drugs and prostitutes in hotel rooms. The list keeps growing. It seems that many people view integrity as an outdated idea, something expendable or no longer applicable to them in our fast paced world. But the need for integrity today is perhaps as great as it has ever been, and it is absolutely essential for anyone who desires to become a person of influence. In his best selling book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey wrote about the importance of integrity to a person's success. I feel like we should read that one next. It's such a good one. If I try to use human influence strategies and tactics of how to get other people to do what I want, to work better, to be more motivated, to like me and each other, while my character is fundamentally flawed, marked by duplicity or insincerity, then in the long run I cannot be successful. My duplicity will breed distrust, and everything I do, even using so called good human relations techniques, will be perceived as manipulative. It simply makes no difference how good the rhetoric is, or even how good the intentions are. If there's little or no trust, there is no foundation for permanent success. Only basic goodness gives life to technique. Integrity is crucial for business and personal success. A joint study conducted by the UCLA Graduate School of Management and Korn Ferry International of New York City surveyed 1,300 senior executives. 71% of them said that integrity was the quality most needed to succeed in business. And a study by the Center for Creative Research discovered that though many errors and obstacles can be overcome by a person who wants to rise to the top of an organization, that person is almost never able to move up in the organization if he compromises his integrity by betraying a trust. Integrity is about the small things. As important as integrity is to your business success, it's even more critical if you want to become an influencer. It is the foundation upon which many other qualities are built, such as respect, dignity, and trust. If the foundation of integrity is weak or fundamentally flawed, then being a person of influence becomes impossible. As Cheryl Beale points out, one of the realities of life is that if you can't trust a person at all points, you can't truly trust him on can't read this sentence. One of the realities of life is that if you can't trust a person at all points, you can't truly trust him or her at any point. Even people who are able to hide their lack of integrity for a period of time will eventually experience failure, and whatever influence they have temporarily gained will disappear. Think of integrity as having benefits similar to that of a house's foundation during a huge storm. If the foundation is sound, then it will hold up against the raging waters. But when there are cracks in the foundation, the stress of the storm deepens the cracks until eventually the foundation and then the whole house crumbles under the pressure. Integrity is the quality most needed to succeed in business. That's why it's crucial to maintain integrity by taking care of the little things. Many people misunderstand that. They think they can do whatever they want when it comes to the small things because they believe that as long as they don't have any major lapses, they're doing well. But that's not the way it works. Webster's New Universal Unabridged Dictionary describes integrity as adherence to moral and ethical principles, soundness of moral character, honesty. Ethical principles are not flexible. A little white lie is still a lie. Theft is theft, whether it's $1, $1,000, or $1,000,000. Integrity commits itself to character over personal gain, to people over things, to service over power, to principle over convenience, to the long view over the immediate. 19th century clergyman Phillips Brooks maintained, character is made in the small moments of our lives. Anytime you break a moral principle, you create a small crack in the foundation of your integrity. And when times get tough, it becomes harder to act with integrity, not easier. Character isn't created in a crisis, it only comes to light. Everything you have done in the past and everything you have neglected to do comes to a head when you're under pressure. Amen. Developing and maintaining integrity require constant attention. Josh Weston, chairman and CEO of Automatic Data Processing Inc., says, I've always tried to live with the following simple rule. Don't do what you wouldn't feel comfortable reading about in the newspapers the next day. That's a good standard all of us should keep. Integrity is an inside job. One of the reasons many people struggle with integrity issues is that they tend to look outside themselves to explain any deficiencies in character. But the development of integrity is an inside job. Take a look at the following 3 truths about integrity that go against common thinking. Number 1, integrity is not determined by circumstances. Some psychologists and sociologists today tell us that many people of poor character would not be the way they are if only they had grown up in a different environment. Now, it's true that our upbringing and circumstances affect who we are, especially when we are young. But the older we are, the greater the number of choices we make, for good or bad. 2 people can grow up in the same environment, even in the same household, and one will have integrity and the other won't. Ultimately, you are responsible for your choices. Your circumstances are as responsible for your character as a mirror is for your looks. What you see only reflects what you are. Number 2, integrity is not based on credentials. In ancient times, brickmakers, engravers, and other artisans used a symbol to mark the things they created to show that they were the makers. The symbol that each one used was his character. The value of the work was in proportion to the skill with which the object was made, and only if the quality of the work was high was the character esteemed. In other words, the quality of the person and his work gave value to his credentials. If the work was good, so was the character. If it was bad, then the character was viewed as poor. The same is true for us today. Character comes from who we are. But some people would like to be judged not by who they are, but by the titles they have earned or the position they hold, regardless of the nature of their character. Their desire is to influence others by the weight of their credentials rather than the strength of their character. But credentials can never accomplish what character can. Look at some differences between the two. All right, so one side is credentials and the other side is character. So I'll just go back and forth. Credentials are transient, character is permanent. Credentials turn the focus to rights, character keeps the focus on responsibilities. Credentials add value to only one person, character adds value to many people. Credentials look to past accomplishments, character builds a legacy for the future. Credentials often evoke jealousy in others, and character generates respect and integrity. Credentials can only get you in the door, character keeps you there. No number of titles, degrees, offices, designations, awards, licenses, or other credentials can substitute for basic, honest integrity when it comes to the power of influencing others. Number 3 is integrity is not to be confused with reputation. Some people mistakenly emphasize image or reputation. Listen to what William Hersey Davis has to say about the difference between character and its shadow, reputation. The circumstances amid which you live determine your reputation. The truth you believe determines your character. Reputation is what you are supposed to be, character is what you are. Reputation is the photograph, character is the face. Reputation comes over one from without, character grows up from within. Reputation is what you have when you come to a new community, character is what you have when you go away. Your reputation is made in a moment, your character is built in a lifetime. Your reputation is learned in an hour, your character does not come to light for a year. Reputation grows like a mushroom, character lasts like eternity. Reputation makes you rich or makes you poor. Character makes you happy or makes you miserable. Reputation is what men say about you on your tombstone, and character is what the angels say about you before the throne of God. Okay, let me see how, it's kind of a longer chapter. We might do it half and half. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we're going to split it in half. So we're going to do one more page and then we'll do the other half tomorrow. Okay. Certainly a good reputation is valuable. King Solomon of ancient Israel stated, "A good name is more desirable than great riches, but a good reputation exists because it is a reflection of a person's character. If a good reputation is like gold, then having integrity is like owning the mine. Worry less about what others think and give your attention to your inner character. D.L. Moody wrote, "If I take care of my character, my reputation will take care of itself." If you struggle with maintaining your integrity and you're doing all the right things on the outside, but you're still getting the wrong results, something is wrong and still needs to be changed on the inside. Look at the following questions. They may help you nail down areas that need attention. Number 1, how well do I treat people from whom I can gain nothing? Number 2, am I transparent with others? Number 3, do I role play based on the persons I'm with? Number 4, am I the same person when I'm in the spotlight as I am when I'm alone? Number 5, do I quickly admit wrongdoing without being pressed to do so? Number 6, do I put other people ahead of my personal agenda? Number 7, do I have an unchanging standard for moral decisions, or do circumstances determine my choices? Number 8, do I make difficult decisions even when they have a personal cost attached to them? Number 9, when I have something to say about people, do I talk to them or about them? And number 10, am I accountable to at least one other person for what I think, say, and do? Don't be too quick to respond to the questions. If character development is a serious area of need in your life, your tendency may be to skim through the questions, giving answers that describe how you wish you were rather than who you actually are. Take some time to reflect on each question, honestly considering it before answering. Then work on the areas where you're having the most trouble. And remember this: many succeed momentarily by what they know. Some succeed temporarily by what they do, but few succeed permanently by what they are. The road of integrity may not be the easiest one, but it's the only one that will get you where you ultimately want to go. All right, we're going to read the second half tomorrow. Such a good chapter. I think like my whole life, I felt really strongly about integrity. Like, I don't know if you guys know the color personalities, but I was very blue growing up. Like, everyone needs to follow the rules. I'm going to follow the rules and I'm going to make sure everyone's following the rules. Like, that's who I was. And then something shifted. I don't know when it was, but I became more of a peacemaker, and now I'm white. And sometimes my integrity can like wax or wane. I don't know what the word is, but become a little bit shaky when I'm trying to like create peace. You know what I mean? Or please people. And so I have to watch myself really closely because I won't be true to myself and what I feel like I need because I'm trying to help other people be happy. So, anyways, that's my take on this situation and myself. I hope that you guys think about it and decide where you're at with integrity. And we'll finish up the chapter tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.